You ready to rock? Hey guys, Rock Dude here, ready to earn some man points? Well, today you're going to earn them by fitting a cavity wall vent. Right guys, so here's our hole, and it's normally when we see a hole, us guys want to fill it, but in this case it's a nasty hole, so the best thing to do is cover it up. Look, this is my bay window, right, and I've recently plastered it and painted it so it's ready for a vent on it to stop our little creepy crawlies coming through. If you look through at the back, you can see there's like an old vent, and then I've had cladding put on and it's got like another vent on the outside. Well, that's like it's got like a fly screen mesh on it as well, stops all the creepy crawlies coming in. But there's a cavity in between the brickwork, and anything that creeps through there obviously comes into your house as well. You know, if you wanted to and you had vented windows, you could block this all up, but I don't want to have vented windows, so I've got a vent here existing, so I may as well just put a vent cover over the top there. Alright, so I've took the old one out. I'll quickly show you the old one. Right here. And as you can see, it's a fly screen mesh on the back of it. It's louvered on the front. Now the reason why it's louvered, I've always wondered about this. But what happens is, if you just got like a straight vent, these louvers are straight instead of aiming down the ways, you put it on the wall and you can see the hole through the vent. You can't because this one's stinking and it's about 20 years old probably. But normally you can, and it doesn't look so pretty. I'll show you later on. I've put a vent on and I'm going to change it for that very reason. So there you are, there's the old vent. There used to be a gas fire in this living room of mine. So you needed a vent open constantly, you know, so just in case you got any emissions coming off your gas fire. Well, I've ripped the gas fire out now and I'm blocking the fireplace up so that can get binned. Right now it's absolutely freezing. There's a hell of a draft coming through here. It's mid-February, Six Nations on. We've just played Ireland 2016 and we drew. Well, what a match, honestly. Right then, so what I'll do now is quickly take you through some of the things you're going to need to install this vent. Right, okay, the first thing we're going to need is obviously a vent. Right, and this one's got louvers on it, they're aiming down the ways. Not only that, we've got a switch in the middle. You can shut the vent or open the vent, so that's pretty cool. I'll show you on the back. If you look on Amazon, these are going for around £3 to £4 at the moment. Possibly less than £3. Not 100% sure, but that's what you're looking at anyway. The reason why you pick this one instead of the one that adjusts on the front, like basically the whole front adjusts and that does your open and closing mechanism. The reason why you pick the one with a switch on it is because when you fix this to the wall, through them holes there, you can caulk around the outside and then you've got a nice seal then, so it's pretty cool. Right, if you have a look at the holes there, they're countersunk. We talked about sinking before. So they're countersunk. The next thing you're going to need is your screws. And if you look at these screws, they are countersink screws. Make sure all your screws are the same, otherwise it just looks like a cack job, you know what I mean? So make sure they're all identical and they're the right size for your holes. And too big and it's just going to chew up the plastic a bit. So there we are. Right, next thing you need, wall plugs. Make sure your wall plugs are the right size for the job. Probably a little bit big, these are, like, you know, it's not holding much weight with it, just a little plastic vent. But they're the right size roughly for the screws, okay? So then we need a level. I think all that was called in for a second. Spirit level. So to get it straight. There we go. Okay, and then we need a drill. That's what I got. A Stanley Fat Max, about £99 in Argos. Pretty good. I've got poured concrete walls mainly in this house and they seem to go through it like butter. So hammer drill you need, like. Right, then you need some bits. You'll see the silver ones are the masonry bits. And I've also using like a little a wood drill bit, very fine one. I'll show you why in a bit. And most DIY people probably go, oh, what are you using that for? But I use it, so there we go. You need a pencil for marking up, and a ruler, You need an SH Figure Arts Stormtrooper. No, you don't. Okay, but he's pretty cool if you haven't got one. SH Figure Arts Stormtrooper, really cool if you're a Star Wars geek like me. Yeah, you should have one. But get out of the way. Right, you need a hammer. And not for smashing your job up when it all goes Pete Tong. You need a hammer for knocking your wall plugs in. If they're a little bit tight, just give them a little loving tap. Put them in, they're all tidy. Your screwdriver, screwing your screws in. And finally, when it's all said and done, you need some caulk. I won't be showing you how to caulk today. I'll maybe show you that in another video when I do some skirting board videos. So, because it's a waste of time, if I open that up, you're not going to use like not even a quarter of it to go around one vent. You may as well do all the vents in the house and then go around them all. Okay? Right, and the first thing I'm going to do is roughly measure up the hole. It's approximately 7 inches, so 3.5 inches is the middle. I would have to find my pencil on the right way. Make a tiny mark there, right? So I know when I'm lining up my vent, it's going to be roughly central. You know what I mean? If you work out what the centre of your vent is, you can also measure that. The vent should be 9 inches. No, it shouldn't. Should be 10 inches. So 5 inches in the middle. Anywhere above the switch. Obviously, they're going to put that central. Not going to put that off the one side. It's going to be central. So if you line that up with a mark on your wall, drop it down so it's actually covering the wall. You know you're going to be central there. Okay. So you also want it level. So put it back on the wall. Put a level mark on the wall. Get ourselves right. So bubbles in the middle. And now we know our vent is central. Right, I've cheated already. I've set my drill up with that small drill bit I showed you earlier on. Once we're holding it nice and secure, corner cut in, mark your wall. Okay, move the vent, and you can see your marks. So have a little look at them, making sure you're not going to be drilling into thin air behind it. You need to make sure you're drilling into concrete or brick or whatever you've got behind there. Okay. Right then. So then again, take off your little drill bit and set it up with your masonry bit. Okay, quickly before we start to drill the holes now, I'm just going to show you a couple of quick tips. First one is, when selecting your drill bit, I know this isn't a drill bit before you say anything, right, pick your wall plug up and measure up your drill bit. It needs to be around the same size, you know what I mean? So you're making the right hole for your drill, for your wall plug. When you put your screw in, all this expands anyway to form a grip, you know what I mean, within the hole. But as long as this is the right length, the right width, you make the right size hole. Not only that, when you drill your hole, make sure you drill to the depth of your wall plug. You know, some drills have got like a plastic sort of, I don't know, it's like a gauge. You can set it for a certain depth, but if you haven't got that, you need to be, you know, checking that you've drilled to the depth of your wall plug. Because basically what will happen is you'll put the wall plug in and you'll tap it in with your hammer, it'll get in so far, and you'll probably have that much sticking out. And then you can't put whatever you put on flush to the wall, and no matter how much you tap it, all you do is just spread all that plastic out, and you just make a mess for yourself. Like, and if you want to take the wall plug out, then you'd have to screw a screw in so far and use the claw part of your hammer to pull the screw to bring this back up the wall, because when they're in there, they are in it quite tight. Alright, so the next little tip for you is get a piece of paper, A4 piece of paper, or any piece of paper really. Roll it up, fold up the bottom of it, put a little bit of tape on it, so you got a pocket, put a little bit of tape on the top, and all you do, tape it underneath where you're going to drill. So when I set up this drill bit in a second now, my hammer drill, basically what's happening is, if you're on your own, like I've seen like my father and my mum doing DIY when I was younger. One would be holding the vacuum cleaner underneath where they're drilling, the other one would be drilling, you know, to try and clear up. So if you work on your own, this is a handy little tip to catch most of the crap that comes out of the wall, you know, all the powder, and save yourself a bit of cleaning up afterwards, okay? Right, I'm ready to drill, but I seem to be getting the feeling that I've said okay too many times in this video already, so I'm going to try to stop saying it from now on. Feel free to have a count and let me know how many times I have said it in the comments below. Right, when you're going to drill, try and hold your drill as straight as possible into the wall. Don't try and drill on an angle. So I'll just quickly drill this hole. Okay, there we are, easy enough. So make sure your drill's set on a hammer setting, it'll make your life so much easier. Don't try and drill through on a normal drill setting with some of these walls like bricks or poured concrete walls, they're a nightmare. Let me quickly show you our little pocket and what it's done. Collected all the brick dust in there, it's fantastic. Make sure you don't stick it too hard to your wall, you know, because you don't want to be pulling paint off. And you can use it for every single hole you drill, and you can reuse it. Right, I want to quickly show you something else as well. If I get my drill, put in the hole. Now bear in mind, if you've been drilling quite vigorously now, that drill bit could get hot, so I've let this one cool down for a couple of seconds. Right, I'll put my thumb on the edge of the hole, bring the bit out. You can see there. If I measure my wall plug, it's roughly to my fingernail. Perhaps could do with going another mil or two more. So you make sure you do that, and then you know your wall plug is going to go in your hole tidy enough. Once you've drilled all 4 your holes and you're happy that they're the right depth for your wall plugs, remove your rubbish. That saved you a lot of cleaning, believe it or not, a lot of dust in your whatever room you're working in, especially if your room's already fitted out. Obviously I'm renovating this house at the moment, so I've got no carpets down and not a lot of furniture in this room at the moment, so nothing's going to get too bad, you know what I mean? But if you're drilling in a room where you've got a lot of stuff there, that little technique, that little pouch will save you a lot of mess afterwards. Right then, now you've drilled your holes, next thing to do is tap your wall plugs in. Fingers crossed you've drilled them deep enough and wide enough, and they should go in nice and easy. Push that one with my thumb. Well, luckily enough, these seem to be going in tidy enough. Oh. If you do get one sticking out proud a little bit, like that one, give it a little love tap. Don't go too wild, don't go start smashing your brand new plaster off the wall. And there you are, that's ready for screwing. Right, I don't know whether you've noticed, maybe some of the more DIY experts out there will notice, I've got a little bit of a problem. Most people nowadays, they don't go for the old skirting board, which was about, was it 2 inches or 3 inches, whatever it is, that horrible plain basic stuff. Most people go for Taurus 5-inch, seems to be the, you know, the skirting board of choice. So I've got a little offcut here, I'm going to show you a problem there. Stick that there. Right, okay, so if you notice that, basically the skirting board comes up higher than my vent. So it's a little bit of a dilemma. Hold the vent roughly in place, like so. That skirting board comes up past my vent. So the only solution I can think to that is when I cut this piece of skirting board for this part of my bay window, I just cut it down, cut it to size, cut like a, you know, like a shape out of it to accommodate the vent. And that's basically all you can do, because I don't want the old, you know, like small type skirting boards. I want something that's going to look pretty smart, like. There we go. Well, do that for now. Let me get my screws ready and my screwdriver. Right, I've shown you before about screws and your bit for your screw, or your screwdriver for your screws. There's a screw. I've sort of recycled these screws out of something else. I'll probably replace them at some point, but always make sure you've got the right bit for your screw. simply save on rounding off, yeah? So make sure it's a nice snug fit and it's gripping tidy. Not too big, not too skinny. Right, the first thing I'm going to do is locate the screw in a hole, line it up, give it a quick couple of turns. Right, I can let that go now, that's no problem. Locate another screw. It's a bit tight, I think. Screw it a little bit through the hole. Line it up with a wall plug. Give it a couple of turns. And then do the same all the way around. When I can find my other screws. There they are. Basically, I'm going to locate all the wall plugs before I tighten one up completely. Then we know we're all lined up and we're ready to rock. So that was lined up. There you are. Now they're lined up, just give them a little turn each. Once you get so far in, you can basically say, yeah, I'm happy, that's all lined up, and just tighten them in all the way. I don't know whether you can see, but the screws are like I said earlier, countersunk, so they sit in flush with the vent. Looks like a tidy job then. Make sure they're nice and tight all the way around. Bear in mind, there's plastic, over tightening could cause splitting, or cracking, or even warping. So, all tight all the way around. Have a quick look round, make sure that it's as flush to the wall as possible, so you know your screws are as tight as you can get them. There we go, simple as that. And you can see the vent now looks nice and tidy. It's shut at the moment. If I open it, with the louvred, the downward louver, always make sure they're aiming down, for God's sake. Luckily enough there's writing on this one, so you can't go wrong, I mean. They're not meant to be aiming up. I think the reason why they're louvered, might be wrong, might be a couple of reasons, but what it does, it hides the ugly hole behind. Doesn't matter whether this vent is open or shut now, you can't see through and you can't see like a blackness, or you'll see a bit of a black with a hole, then you'll see the painted plaster, you know, maybe comes to about there. So it hides the ugliness of the hole, sort of thing. Right, like I said, I'm not going to show you caulking today. There's your caulk. If you're in the UK, we've got a screw fix, and I think they're selling for about £1 at the moment for a tube, and that tube goes really far. So if I put vents all around the house now, in every single room, that would easily do it. And if you've never used this stuff before, it's not like, I'm not advertising this, mate, no, use any caulk, you can get it from a watch shop or anywhere, B&Q, anywhere, like, I mean. So if you haven't used caulk before, it's really easy to use. It's not like a bathroom sealant where it's easy to mess up. This stuff, it's a lot more manageable. All I do, I put a set of gloves on. I always wear gloves when I'm using any sort of adhesive or, you know, any sort of product like that. You squirt a nice little line around. Obviously the bigger the gap, the more caulk you need to put in it. Alright, so you squirt a little line all the way around with a damp rag, place it over the top of your finger and rub around it. Any excess, you know, remove it and put it to one side as you're rubbing around, and leave a nice fine line all the way around it, and it seals up all the way around. Fantastic. And you can paint over caulk on it. You can get magnolia coloured caulk if that suits you. But there we are, you've earned your man points, well done. So get around your house, fit your nice little louvered vent, and look cool in front of the missus. See you next time, dudes. Rock dude out. You might remember me mentioning earlier on about these other vents. Now, you get these off Amazon or in your local DIY shops, and they seem to be really popular at the moment. So what happens is, you screw the fly screen over the existing hole, and then the adjustable part is the hole outside of the vent. So you open that up and you can see directly into the hole, and I don't know whether you can notice the shape of the hole is like an egg shape, and then you can see the plaster where it comes up to. And it's been I painted over it, you know what I mean. So and then I put it up there, and you can see through it. It looks ugly. It looks, that's why I prefer the louvred shape, because it doesn't matter what the hole looks like behind. Most of it is covered. You can hardly see it. And the other problem with this is it's not the best fitting anyway. They're a little bit loose. But the problem with this, you can't caulk around the outside, because if you caulk around the outside, you couldn't open it. And if you caulk around the outside of the vent, this adjustable part wouldn't slide back and forth on it. So you're always going to have like a little bit of a draft coming through it. It's not a perfect seal. So alright, they do the job, but they're not the best.